Hello, welcome back to my train room. This is a video about an update for my magnetizer. I make these myself, and it's been a few years since my last video, so update is long past due. Okay, this is what you get with the when you buy the kit from me. You can contact me at ronaldaedodd@aol.com. That'll be in the description below as well. First you get the instructions and safety user pamphlet there. You have a 12 volt output power supply, a very powerful one, which makes it very safe. Then you have the power cord. This comes with a UK 3-pin standard plug. For international buyers, this can be changed. I think it's C14, I think, but you can see this 3-pin configuration, or you can use a travel adapter, or just change the plug itself for the standard in your country. Also, there's the magnetizing head. There's a button, an indicator light, and the socket for the plug. And 2 pole pieces. You put one in, maybe push the button down to get one in, and the other one goes in there. And then a compass, so you can tell which way the polarity is. Right, let's do a demonstration first. I'll plug the power supply in, like so. And then you can just, that's it, it's working. And you can see the north is in that direction, the red needle, and also the arrow on the side also pointing in the same direction. So here we go for a little demonstration. Here's a magnet, an Alnico magnet from a Hornby Dublo Loco, and I've as you can see, it's no magnetism. I demagnetized that one, so there's nothing at all on it. So if I place it between the pole pieces like so, I'll have to hold it there and push the button, and push the button like so. Remove it, and there you go. Straight away you can see it's very strong. There, no problem. It's back to how it should be. Now you'll notice that when I magnetize it this way round, the magnetism is the same direction as what I've just done it in there. So if I was to turn this that way, put it in the magnetizer, then re-magnetize it again, you'll see that it's turned it. One more time, turn it like that, so it's pointing this way. Press the button, and it's changed the direction again. This is important to know for the direction of your motor. The motor will run in the direction of the motor is determined by the direction of the magnet in the motor for forward and reverse. Okay, and let's do it with a Loco. Just a word on safety. Don't put anything electronic, your computer or phone or anything, right next to this, or even a watch, it will it could damage them. Also, don't leave it plugged in for any length of time. There's no power to it, but if something accidentally pushes this button, or it will start to get hot after if it's been energized for more than a few minutes. It'll start to warm up, so it could be a danger. So always unplug it when not in use, or even between uses. Okay, so here's the Hornby Dublo. This is the block magnet, the standard you'll find in most Hornby Triangs. To re-magnetize it, first you'll need to determine the magnet. You see there is pointing to this direction, which is incorrect if you want to re-magnetize it without it changing its direction. So if we turn that around, you'll see now we are working. This is the correct way. The magnetic flux is now traveling in that direction, the same as the arrow. So that means that we have to magnetize it in that direction. So we put it straight in there, like so. Just get as much contact as we can with the magnet. Press it once, press it twice, and that's it, it's finished. That is where you saw then it needed just it wasn't making proper contact. So I'll do it again, once, twice. Now it's there. Okay, now that's magnetized back to full strength, and that's basically how it works. It's very simple, really. Okay, let's try it with some other motors. Here we have in Triang it's XO, or in Hornby it's the half inch I think, yeah. This one, it goes in the chassis like this, so you have to remove it from the chassis. Just 2 screws. It's because it's just too bulky in there. Also, you'll see that the magnetic flux is running this direction, so it needs to be magnetized in that direction also. But because of the screw, we can't really do that too well. So what we need to do with the Hornby magnet, there's a slot. I've loosened this off already. There's a slot, and you can see it right there. So it can be pulled back. Why we're doing this is because, just tighten that up a bit, is because magnets should always be magnetized while they're inside the mechanism, while they're still in the motor. If you take it out to magnetize it, it will lose some of its strength. So you need to keep it in the motor to obtain the full strength. So then we can place that into it like this. Give it one blast and one more, and that's it. Then you can just unnip the screw, push it back into shape, and then that's finished. For the XO motor, it doesn't have the slot in the magnet, so you'll need to remove the screw altogether. So why don't we do that? Okay, you can either slide the spring back out of the way, or just remove the spring and the 2 brushes will come out. Okay, so then you need to check direction again of the magnetism. This way is correct. Then you can put the magnet straight in. This is probably better this way, even for the 00 motors. The other way is just the lazy way to do it. And one shot, two shots is enough, and that's re-magnetized. Just put it back together the same as taking it apart. Okay, there has been cases of the compass being re-magnetized, so you sometimes need to check that you haven't re-magnetized it. If you inadvertently leave it right here or something, you might re-magnetize the compass itself, and you can check it always just by moving it away from, just check it with the Earth's magnetic pole there. Okay, we get on to another one. Here we have the ring field. Here's a ring field magnet. These don't necessarily need to be magnetized within the motor, because they're a ring and they keep their own. They just keep their strength because they're a ring. They've got their own circuit built in. In the block magnet, the armature itself acts to make the circuit, and once you break the circuit by removing something, it weakens the magnet. So that's why you need to, every time you break the circuit, either by removing the magnet, it's best to re-magnetize again. Okay, and now looking at the magnet, it's tempting to just place it in the magnetizer that way, but that's incorrect, because as you can see, the magnetic flux is this way, so it has to be magnetized in this direction. So you turn it until it's in the correct orientation, and then just slip it in, and then same again, just making sure it's reasonably square that way. That was just a little bit out. You can, because if I was to magnetize it, say like that, it would, the north-south would, well, let's demonstrate it. You see, so when I'm straight, it's not straight, but when I go like that, it's, the north-south is at an angle, so you need to get it reasonably straight in there. And it goes with all your magnets, all the re-mags. Just try and get the 90 degrees, re-magnetize it, just like that. And there you have it, that's magnetized. So let's try it with the actual Loco here, with the chassis. Okay, you check that's the correct way. So we would just put that straight in there, make sure it's straight, and then give it a couple of blasts, and that's got it. That's all it takes. Okay, now onto the horseshoe magnet. This is the horseshoe magnet, and there's one. Is I think the post-war, early post-war. This one, but they're pre-war as well. Now these are made from a different material to the Alnico ones. These are made from a steel cobalt mix, and they're nowhere near as strong as, because the technology was not there in them days. They're 80 years old or so. So they're nowhere near as strong as the Alnico, and to make up for that, the armatures are wound differently. If you look at the gap that divides the segments in the commutator, you can see that it's in line, is, well, on this one, this is the later one, the gap in the commutator lines up with the middle of the gap between the coils, where the Horseshoe one, it's offset by 30 degrees. That's because it is wound differently to the later one. The Horseshoe motor is wound differently to the Alnico armature. So you need to be wary of that, because they are interchangeable, and sometimes people get them interchanged wrong and your Loco doesn't work so well. So just to demonstrate the strength of this, or the weakness, put it that way, of this magnet compared to the, you can see if I just dangle my screwdriver there, you can see it's got it, but barely got it. It's very weak, although it's working fine because of the winding is different. So don't expect when you magnetize it to get the same strength as the Alnico magnets. Now to compare that to this Alnico magnet, you can hear it straight away. So it pulls, you can see the difference in the strength straight away. You can even hear it. Well, that didn't seem to bad. I think the magnets, the screwdriver is probably magnetized a little bit, and it pulls better on that side. But anyway, that's what it is. So we have a different routine for magnetizing this. It's also because it's got a greater mass than this one. I've devised a way of magnetizing this that's slightly different. What I do is I determine the direction it's got to go in. Then first of all I put it in the magnetizer like so, give it a blast, then move it in a little bit, give it another blast. So I'm magnetizing all parts of it, and then last of all go to the widest part, make sure it's reasonably straight, give it a blast, and then give it another one. The last blast, give it about 5 seconds or so to be sure. And that should be magnetized. Okay, now I'll do it with the actual locomotive, so because again this must be kept inside the motor. No, that's the wrong way, so we turn it around. That's the way it's got to be done. So we put it in, give that a blast there, move it down a bit, give it another blast there, go to the widest point, give it a blast, and then give it another one, a bit longer this time. There we go. A few seconds, these won't heat up in a few seconds, so there's no problem there. And that's it for the Horseshoe magnet. One note about the ring field magnets is with the 060 shunter, the magnet is deep inside. There's no way to get at it really. So what you have to do, this is the only Loco where you have to fully disassemble it. You have to remove the 4 screws and take out the brushes, take it apart and remove the magnet. Then you can magnetize it and then replace and put it back together. It's a good opportunity to clean out the inside, because you can't even clean the inside of this. So it's a good opportunity to do that. Okay, I think that covers it just about. One word about these armatures. You can also, the pre-war or the post-war, it's got a castellated top, but I think some of the later ones also have a castellated, so you can't rely on that to determine this. It also has more laminations than the earlier ones as well. So there is quite a bit of difference really. Although some of the later ones also have quite, not maybe one less lamination on the post-war or the later, the Alnico one. Okay, I think that about ties it up. Here's my email address. I'll put it in the notes below, and just one plug for the HRCA. It's the Hornby Railway Collectors Association. It's well worth joining. You get magazines like this every month, or 10 months a year, but also you get the spares catalogue. These are all the spares you'll ever need for Hornby Dublo and Hornby O-gauge trains. Well worth joining, like I say. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Goodbye.